The bonus events are almost done. And where this time around, we are now going to move on to the level 3 street bonus events. Not quite the same result as I got before, but either way, a top 3 is a top 3, and that's all I need in order to fully complete the discipline. So this time we've got curling, darts, and soccer. And then after that we've got the Speedway special, where if we win, we will get a bonus of 11,200 credits. So I think we'll probably get at least 20 grand by the time we're done with this, which is more than what we need for our first class final. And for this one, yeah, we'll use the Nucleon. Why not? I think I might also use the Nucleon for darts as well, because there was actually one time where I used to play darts. Launch 3 drivers and aim for the centre of the curling ring. To get maximum points, you can knock your own markers to change their score. I don't ever recall playing curling, but I've at least seen it enough times to understand how the game works. Press and hold the launch button to increase the launch angle. Release the button to set the angle and launch. Don't think I need to read that, I've already read it enough times. Center of the ring. Not bad. Although I don't think I will be aiming for the center. But anyway, here we go. As we begin curling, and hoping that I somehow do not slip up in my car. That worked out rather poorly. Yeah, that worked out very poorly. Let's try that again. I don't think the nudge was worth it. We are trying this again, and making sure that this time we get as close to the bullseye as we can possibly get in terms of our target. Also, I did my research, and those objects that you see sliding on the ice if you watch curling, they're called curling stones. And I only know that from doing research. That was almost perfect. And that was precisely what I needed to do to start this off. Now I just have to make sure I don't hit the curling stones, but somehow still get near enough to getting a good score. Because that is what I need to do. Okay. Not exactly the best, but how good was it? Okay, I'm still at the top so far. And now we've got 2 curling stones. We've got one in the center and the other one on the outer exterior of the center. And I hit that. This is not going to work out for me, is it? Oh, never mind, it does. So I score 85, 81, and 99, in spite of me shifting that curling stone I actually managed to get the win in curling. I never could have envisaged that. Anyway, let's get our replay. I think this might as well be a good time to do so. Also because, well, I will actually get a shot of the front of the Nucleon. It probably was going to be about as good as my run would get. I just needed to make sure that I was aiming for the center and then I would get it. And that's precisely the way it happened. I think that might just be my perfect shot for this episode, in terms of my clickbait. But anyway, took me 18 minutes to ultimately get curling on the board, and now that I have got it on the board, I am going to be in for a big payday. Because I surprisingly won. As I got 8,800 credits. Nice. We are practically going to have more than enough money to start off the grand finals. Anyway, let's now move on to darts. And where this time, I want to use the Nucleon again. Just because I have a feeling this will probably be the best car I can use in order to get good stunt scores. Launch your driver at the designated area of the dartboard. Hitting the highlighted bonus sector yields the bonus points. I'm pretty sure that's something that doesn't happen in normal darts, if I'm not mistaken, because you basically just have to aim for either the double markers or the triple markers. The double markers are the interior markers, and the triple markers are the interior markers, and the double markers are the exterior markers. Press and hold the launch button to increase the launch angle, release the button to set the angle, and launch your driver. Do not cross the fault line or your try is forfeit. Don't need to explain the in-flight controls, really. Huh, and he scored 13. I think that was right. We'll see how the rest of this goes. So our target is 9. Okay. Let's see how long it takes for us to get this right. Probably a bit of time, I would imagine. Probably less than an hour, the way I see things. And I miss everything. At least I wasn't the only one, though. Okay, let's try that again. The target this time, however, is 7. Even though I am pretty sure these are not normal dart scores. Yeah, before I get on with this, if you miss the targets you are supposed to hit with darts in this game will punish you, and it will punish you hard. And then basically just throw an anvil from about 20,000 feet down, or from about 20,000 feet up, and it will basically just crush your chest. That's basically what I think the equivalent of missing in this game, at least with darts in this game, really is. So basically, the simple thing you have to do is don't miss your targets. Because if you do, then you'll be prematurely fucked. And that I can say for sure is where you don't want to be. It basically is the equivalent of just lying on the ground and then basically having an anvil just land on your chest from about 20,000 feet down. In other words, it'll quite literally kill you. Well, at least I can say the double 8 counts. Okay. Well, I suppose as long as I'm still scoring, then that's all I really care about. Okay, I need 15. That is my target. If I can get 15 somehow, I should be good. And I do! With a single. And my score is now 66. Well, at least I am working my way forwards. And my target is now 4. I think that's meant to be the 444 if I'm not mistaken. Yes! I got it! I got the 444. Thank God. I actually hit that one. And I'm now up to 141. 27 points behind Jason. And these rounds can quickly change the scores. Basically as quick as flash. Is how quickly these rounds go by. I am so glad I got that single 16, or else I would have been fucked. Okay, 1 round to go. I don't think I'm going to win this, but if I can just hold on to second, then I'll be good. And after 5 rounds, everyone now has points on the board, as both Katie and Frank have the equal lowest score. And our target this time around is the bullseye. This is going to be a hard one. Unless I can absolutely nail it. Holy shit, I got the outer bullseye. Is that good enough for second? I certainly hope it is. Oh, never mind, it was good enough for the win. All I really needed was that one outer bullseye, and then I basically won it because Jason missed. Along with Frank and Sally as well, who also missed the bullseye. I did not think I was going to win that event, but yet, because I simply did not miss, that was how I managed to put the run together. I think if I wasn't already going through a lot of the exhaustive work that I basically have to go through in my outside life, then I might just be tempted to try and see if I can sweep the stunt events. But at this time, I just don't really have enough guile to go for it. So 9,600 credits for winning, as I won in the end by 12 points over Jason. And I'm now up to over 120,000 credits. My god, to put it simply, that's a lot. As we now get on with soccer. And I think for our final stunt event, yeah, we'll use the rocket. Because I want to. Anyway, here we are now for soccer. The final stunt event of this game. Launch your driver towards the soccer goal. Aim for one of the 4 corners. The corner The closer to the corner you hit, the better your score. To those of you who live outside of America or Canada, we technically refer to soccer as football. Or, in the words of Amp Lemon, soccer football is technically association football. I do also recommend you check him out. He's actually really good when it comes to his analytical videos. I highly recommend you watch Amp Lemon. Anyway, press and hold the launch button to increase the launch angle, release the button to set the angle and launch your driver. Driving over the edge or hitting the ground forfeits your turn. The goalie and the players will deflect your driver, so try to maneuver around them. Use the aerobatic controls to maneuver your driver and press the launch button to nudge upwards for additional control. Using aerobatics reduces your airspeed. So those are basically the target areas we need to hit in order to get the best possible scores, basically. Whilst also making sure that it doesn't go straight into the goalkeeper. But anyway, I'm pretty sure a lot of you know the difference between the two football markets, because there's soccer football and then there's football. I technically prefer the second of those two things I just mentioned. Well, tackle football if we're being more specific. Anyway, on with this. Let's begin the stunt and see how far we get. Hopefully this will work out, but I won't be surprised if it doesn't for the first few turns. And I go well over the crossbar. Okay, let's try that again before I hit the ground. I had a feeling that launch angle was too high. Thank God for that. Okay, let's see if we can keep this one going. At least I can say when these goals are scored. Okay, we got it. Almost deflected, but we did manage to squeeze through. And Jack is on 169. Nice. Meanwhile, I am on 160. Haha, nice try. You almost blocked me, but I just squeezed through. Only just. Okay, I think we're in a good spot now to potentially take home a top 3. As long as I can score in this final round, I should be home free. That's all I want. I just want to score. And then we're good. And I do. And hopefully that was good enough for 3rd, at least. Okay, P2. So Jason wins, myself 2nd, and Sally Taylor 3rd. As Sophia missed on her final shot in the shootout. Anyway. There we go. The stunt events are now finito. And as a result, we can now move on to our last super speedway race. So 7,900 credits for the silver. We have practically passed 20 grand by this point compared to where we started. And now all we have left is Speedway Special, and where if we win, we will get 11,200 credits, plus the amount of times I cause a wreck. But anyway, here we go. As we are now back at the Speedway. They may think of us to be racing in circles, but we're actually racing on a road course this time, not in an oval. Okay, I think that makes sense. I think if there weren't any closer feet, I think if we were just a feet closer, she definitely would have hit me. But thankfully she didn't. So first attempt, I finish P2 and I also get the fastest lap. Oh, are we doing a cup for this? It never mentioned anything about a championship here. At least I was pretty sure it didn't. Yeah, whatever works. I finish P2 in the first race, and now we can move on to the second race. Those are my stats, and I'm up to 130,000 credits, and I also get the fastest lap point as well. Well, the fastest lap bonus money. Oh, never mind. It's not a bonus event. Oh well. I kind of figured that wasn't the case. I was a little confused, but anyway. We'll try this again, because when it comes to competition events, that's where I do want to win. Those are the ones I do win, it's just the stunt events that I don't win. Jesus. I get the idea of this being a sprint race, but you don't literally have to keep wrecking us out as soon as possible. You know, we can just race. And it looks as though at this point, like, Jason is going to be my main competition again. As I hit a few cones, and now I have lost whatever pace I had before. Unless I can somehow nail these corner entries from the outside. I mean, this is definitely the in-course section before we get on the banking. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually pretty hard. I am actually struggling a fair bit to keep up with the AI on pace, unless they wreck themselves. And that's precisely what they did there, because both Sophia and Jason wrecked each other. And that now moves me up to the lead, ahead of Jack. And in spite of my best of efforts to lose, I somehow come out on top. Meanwhile, for some reason, Jason gets dropped down to P5. Don't know how though. Jack 2nd, Frank 3rd, Katie 4th. And there's the rest of the order. As Sophia dropped down to P7 after she got wrecked by Jason. Okay, whatever. I got the win this time around, and I also got over 11 grand, so... We won the competition event. That's all I care about. We basically did all the events we were supposed to do. So another 800 credits, as I got 1 slam, 1 blast out, and 1 crash out. And I also got both the Blastmaster and Bulldozer awards as well, giving me another 1000 credit bonus. And now I have more than enough money to start off the grand finals. Because, well, for the derby card that we're going to use, we only have to pay 10,000 for this thing, and I would imagine the upgrades are probably going to be of a similar price. So that's probably what we'll be using next, but anyway. The street class is now sweeped, and all that's left is the grand finals, as we've got the derby finals, the race finals, and the street finals. And then afterwards, we've got the grand final. But before we do any of that, we will start off with the derby finals. However, I'm going to go and give myself something to eat first before we do that, because I have been pretty hungry for a while now. But anyway, that was the Level 3 bonus events of the street class. And next time we will be starting off the grand finals. Coming up next.
You love the